I mean, the main thing we talked about today in the story was job growth, which is the thing that everybody cares about, economists and politicians alike. And what we're seeing is that the job growth is a lot broader this time, this year versus last year at this same time. And that's important because last year, if everyone remembers, what happened was we had really good job growth in the winter and early spring, and it just fell off through the summer. And when you see it broadening a little bit, it sort of gives you a little tiny bit more confidence that that sort of fall off isn't going to happen.
Right. Connor, in your article today, you talked about broadening not just by industry, which is very important, right?
Yeah.
But also by geography. Can you explain that a little bit?
Exactly. Well, they're sort of, kind of the same thing. But the recovery kind of started in manufacturing, and that was, the Midwestern states. It's obviously their powerhouse. They've not gotten anywhere near to making up what they lost, but they were sort of the beginning of the upturn, and that was, companies were rebuilding inventories, and there's obviously been a lot of exports, all those things that benefit those states. And then it sort of spreads, to the services that have to kind of service those factories and that sort of thing. And then the real laggards, the one that is kind of taken some time, but suddenly is doing better now, is the West, and kind of these the kind of really hard-hit housing states like Florida's, the Nevadas. Now, again, those places are still lagging the nation and all that, and housing is still, a pretty big negative on the economy. But it appears to be hitting signs of a bottom, and you're at least just seeing some move forward, year-over-year job gains instead of year-over-year job losses.
And last year we saw some sort of unexpected things, for example, a tsunami which hit, some of those things that you can't predict. Are we looking at some things that perhaps that could hinder us, like a shock in oil prices, problems that continue in the European financial crisis, for example?
Those will be there until, until the election is over, people will at least be talking about those things. Could this all get derailed right at the last second, right?
Those are the unknowns.
And even after the election, there'll probably be, problems, but they won't be talked about as much. I think that the bottom line is the more legs the economy has to stand on, the more able it is to withhold, withstand one of those shocks. And especially when you think about gas prices, there's been a lot of discussion lately about, well, are consumers in a better place now, and therefore can they handle it? Right. So it's not just sectors of the economy. It's also just sort of like the overall strength of sort of how things are going. You know what I mean? I mean, if things are going really well and you get whacked a little bit,
you can take it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the biggest shock. All right, Connor, thank you so much. Cool.